Lisa from sewnlife.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this drawstring bag out of scrap fabrics. So it's also fully lined and it is super cute. So all that you're going to need to make this drawstring bag is your scrap fabrics, so a collection of fabrics, anything that you want, and then a lining piece. So the lining will be 20 centimetres by 40 centimetres, that will be cut into two, and then some ribbon or cord or whatever you want to use for the drawstring, just under 1.5 metres, and that's all you need. Cut out a paper template. You can use any size. For this one I'm going to use one that is 20 centimetres across and 25 centimetres down. So using your template, you're going to need two pieces for the lining, so I've already cut those out. They're in a single colour, and then for the front we're going to make two pieces the same size out of patchwork scraps. So I have just cut out numerous scraps that are all differing sizes, but they're all the same width across, so they're all just over 20 centimetres, and I'm going to create two patchwork pieces that are the exact same size as this. Place your fabrics on a flat surface and make sure that they're facing up the way that you want them to go. Then just simply take your first two pieces, put them right sides together, and you're just going to sew them about 7 or 8 millimetres away from the edge all the way down there. So that's the first piece sewn, start to look like, and then just simply attach the next piece. So again, to keep it simple for you, put the next piece down, right sides together, and then sew, and then keep going. So just going to do a double check that I've made a long enough panel. So I'm just going to put it against the template and I can see that it's definitely long enough. So I'm going to make another one now so that I've got two, not necessarily in the same order. I'm still going to mix up the scraps, and then I'm going to take it over to the ironing board and iron the seams out so that they are all laying flat like that. So I've got both of my panels ready now, and I'm just going to iron the seams flat so that the piece is much easier to work with and it will look much more professional once the seams are ironed flat. So iron them all that side, and then you'll turn over and give it an iron on that side as well. Now that they're both ironed, front and back, it's time to take the template and place the template on top of both of the pieces and simply trim the sides so that they're exactly the same size as the template. Do that on both pieces and you will have two matching pieces. So we've now got two front pieces and two lining pieces. So decide which way up you want your front pieces to sit, and then simply take the lining right sides together and you're going to sew across the top on both of the pieces. So the lining is attached to the outer, both of them, and you're going to put them right sides together, and they are going to be sewn all around all four edges, leaving a gap of about 10 centimetres here in the lining, which is where it's going to be turned inside out. I would recommend pinning it, because what you want to do is you want to make sure that these seams here match up exactly, so that when they're turned inside out they actually look level. It will just make a much better looking end product. So pin those edges together and then put another couple of pins, take it over to the sewing machine and sew all around the edges. So sewn all the way around, and we've got a little gap here, but before we turn it inside out, I'm just going to cut off the corners, and that's so that when it's turned inside out it will sit flat. So just close to the stitching, not too close, make sure you leave about 3 millimetres so you don't want your stitching to start fraying. Now I'm going to turn it inside out. So this little section now just needs to be top stitched. So turn it underneath, take it to the machine, and just about 2 or 3 millimeters away, just top stitch that section so that it's enclosed. The next step is to turn the lining inside the outer. So push that in and it would sit in there exactly the right size. Okay, there we go. To create the drawstring channel, what we're going to do is do a line of top stitching right at the very top, so sort of about 2 millimeters away, stitch all the way around there, and then 2 centimeters down we're going to do another row of stitching all the way around. So there'll be 2 tram lines of stitching all the way around the top, which is where we're going to feed the cord or ribbon into. When you sew in these 2 channels, at the edges here, what you want to do is go over these stitches about 2 or 3 times, because in a minute we're going to create a hole there, and by going over the stitches several times it will secure it and stop this coming undone. So do that on both of. What you're going to do now is very, very carefully in that seam, so this is the side seam now, you're going to take 1 stitch, so find 1 stitch and cut that stitch. Now you have to be very careful that you don't cut by mistake any of the fabric, so just pick up 1 stitch and use your seam ripper and cut it, and then what you're going to do is that will just then naturally allow the other stitches to open up. You don't really need to cut any of the other stitches, okay? And then do the same on the other side seam. So I'm going to use this little threader that I've got. If you haven't got one of these, you can simply use a safety pin. So it takes a while, it's not a fast thing. There, pull that out, hold on to both of the ends, and then what I would suggest is tying a knot straight away right at the end with these 2 so that they don't get lost and go back inside whilst you're doing the next bit. So tie a knot, okay, and then do exactly the same with the other piece, and that is going to go through this end. So now that you've got both of the ribbons attached, you can simply pull them both and it pulls them up. So it's a lovely little drawstring bag. Put anything that you want in there, different both sides, and use all your old fabrics, little scraps. I've got lots of other videos for you to watch with lots of other really cute little projects on, so head on over to the next video and I will see you there. Have a nice day. Bye.